is where do you see the trends in the hotel, in the hospitality space? Because the reality is, it feels like you're making the trends. Is that accurate? It's forget where the trends are. It feels like you're every step ahead.
We've tried to be then in terms of development, just doing things, better and smarter than existing product. I think that's an obligation to your capital providers when you're doing that. It's an interesting business right now because you've had, Marriott bought Starwood, Hilton, bought Promise Hotels years ago. So now the biggest brands, and they, now they all have soft brands. So there's not that many independent hotels. A lot of them are within the brand family. So the corporate traveler has always said, I'm a Marriott traveler, I'm a Hilton traveler, I'm an IHG traveler, because they want to get their points for the road warriors. They want to get their points in that system. And, it is nice. They can take their families on vacation. So, I would say going back, close to 30 years, the gold standard brands within hospitality were Residence Inn and Courtyard. They just performed. If you wanted to, basically, buy an asset and clip coupons and have a ton of security from the brand platform, you could invest in a Courtyard, invest in a Residence Inn. Well, now all of these brand families, Marriott has over 40 brands in their system. I think Hilton's in the 30s, IHG's pushing 20. So, I like to say, somewhat jokingly, but if you do a focus study in the hospitality industry and say, pick a brand by or Hyatt, pick a name of those brands within hospitality, you might get to 5%. If 5% of your own industry doesn't know what that name is, it's not a brand.
It's true.
And then in that same, going back to the Courtyard Residence Inn analogy, they've got, roughly another 9 or 10 brands that they're getting your data. And if the Courtyard's doing well, they've got 3 other brands can go in the same market. Oh. And your area protection almost universally does not protect you in that instance. So you're paying anywhere from 12 to 15% of your revenue to a brand family who is then taking that data and using it to compete with you. So I am, as an investor or developer, I'm very reluctant to invest in branded assets overall, whereas 30 years ago I was seeking that. So it's a very challenging market for operators now because in a branded environment because there's so many of them in the space.